In this episode of Game Engine series, I will go through the changes that I've added to make the logger work with dynamic buffer. The reason for this is to get rid of statically allocated arrays, as it's not surprised that logs can be longer than 1024 characters. For this, I've created an internal logger state that will hold our dynamic buffer, then logger init function that is responsible for creating the buffer, and term function that is responsible for destroying it. Another thing that I did was to move the string length function to a separate source file, where we will store all the functionality responsible for string manipulation. Maybe we will create a string data structure in the future. And one of the important parts. We created buffer of default capacity 1024, so we should resize it only when the log string will be bigger than the buffer capacity. For this, I've added functions that will calculate the approximate buffer size that is needed for log composition. It is called composition length, and the implementation looks similar to buffer compose, but instead of writing to the buffer, we just calculate the total length of the final string and return it. I assumed the length for the digits has a max of 23 characters, and maybe in the future we will add calculation for exact length. We hide the call to the platform function by creating the logger log buffer function. Now the log defines looks much cleaner. And don't forget to add log init and term functions on engine create after platform initialization and at the end of the engine run function before platform termination. And that's it for the first part of the series. Obviously, engine lacks features like allocators, small complex containers, file system, job system, and others. And we will add them in the future. But I think it is a good foundation to start drawing something on the screen. If you haven't seen how to create a logger from scratch without the standard library, consider watching this video. Ciao!